Hey y'all, what's up? I got a new name for you guys, and you're gonna be called my honeybees. Alright, so I want to talk about something today, and that is called friends with benefits. You've heard the term, you've seen the movie, you've probably done it yourself, and I want to talk about a different perspective though about friends with benefits. And usually it's referred to a sexual relationship amongst two persons who are not engaged emotionally. But now I want to talk about friends with benefits. However, I don't want to talk about the sexual aspects. I want to talk about relationships among two people whom are friends, what should be called friendship. However, that share something that is more of a resemblance of a relationship that two persons who are in a unison as far as a romantic relationship. Now, it's not a fine line. All right, there are very distinct boundaries that I feel that friends and lovers should have. And sometimes when they cross or they get a little blurred or a little gray, it causes lots and lots of conflicts. Okay. I've experienced stuff like this. I've even been in both sides where I was a person or who latched on to someone, a friend, and it was kind of like in times of, I guess, distress, that person's there and trying to take a place of some type of barren part of our lives. And I did that when I was in a relationship and the relationship was going kind of rough. I reached out to an ex and, to gain all of that emotional things that I shouldn't have. And actually that was one of the falls or one of the factors that had to end, causing causing an end of one of my relationships. So here's a key. Make sure that your friends are your friends, and the person who you are with as a partner should be perhaps the closest person that you should have as far as a bond. Now, think about it for a second. If you are a person where you require so much of your friends that it seems like you're making them into a romantic partner, if you demand so much out of them that it makes them kind of feel like they're intermittent or in interim as you live life and you find a partner, and then you kind of let go and be on your merry way with them. Things like that do happen, and it's very unhealthy. This is such a huge issue to talk about, and I'm gonna try to break it down to more simpler methods of understanding it. Now, let's say you have a friend who's gone through a breakup, right? Your responsibility is to be there, help, and support them, not to be a crutch, an emotional crutch for them to get through. Because psychologically what happens is that they're actually missing something now, and this friendship and this role seems like it's kind of taking place. So, taking the place of what really shouldn't be there, like, this friend has to be your everything at this moment, and if you don't hear from them, or if they don't call you all the time, but they don't check up on you, it's like, you know what I mean? As opposed to it just being someone who could help you understand and let you go through the difficult time, but not to be your all in all and a substitute for what you're feeling or the pain. You know what I mean? We had to go through and grieve and get it through and go on with our merry way, as opposed to just kind of like filling a void. All right. Now, a lot of persons who do this, there's some type of emotional deficit that's in them. Now, sometimes it's looking in the mirror internally, being introspective, looking at ourselves, and saying, I wonder if I'm one of those persons. Now, usually there are persons who have gone through difficult upbringing. As we know that who we are today has to do with a lot of the past experience, particularly stemming from childhood. It's just a clinical fact. So, a lot of times persons who are, I guess, emotional leeches are going to be persons who always are going to require people to tell them how much they love them or how much they're being appreciated, and always wants to be like, I guess, in their in their face, telling them how much they mean to them, unless they fully deal with the emptiness and the issues and the barren and emptiness that they have inside, they won't be able to have healthy relationships and healthy boundaries, because they're actually looking for others to sort of like validate themselves. And people who like this will attract like-minded individuals, because say a person is deficient. Okay, let's say there's a woman who's in a marriage now. Yes, I would hope that the reasons why they were wedded was because they love each other and they found fulfillment and compassion, and this is a person that they're able to speak with. Sort of like what you expect like a great friendship to be, to stem out of. And and let's say that this person has the motives that she's with her husband because, say, she wanted a family, or she's much older now and it's harder to play the field, or whatever reason, you know what I mean? And instead of her building and having a partner which she's so compatible and more ideal with, like she'll reach out to, say, her best friend and always communicate and always contact. Say she has a gay best friend, right? And if they're always in constant contact, and it seems like they're more together, more having what a healthy relationship and healthy partnership should be, as opposed to her husband, there's a problem. Now, we had to, well, I would tell her to look at her motives. If she's fully happy with the person that she's with. And I'm saying I use a heterosexual couple, but it could be used in any homosexual couple. Why she's still with that person if she's unhappy, or if she doesn't have a partnership, maybe she wanted to have a family, and maybe she was getting old, or if it was a gay relationship, say, oh, he's getting old, and he's not able to, and he just doesn't want to be lonely anymore, etc., etc., so they'll stay, and they'll, instead of cutting the ties and letting that person go. So say this woman finds this gay guy who perhaps has abandonment issues as well, and they're like emotionally they start connecting or enmeshing or whatever term you want to use, and he has a relationship with someone who is suffering because this person, it's there, so his emotional part is now, or his emotional socket now is occupied with her, so he's not able to, I guess, let go and attach and start building with a relationship with, say, his boyfriend, or, you know what I mean? And that's a tendency that happens, and a lot of times there would be boundaries, or like say a relationship that ends, for example, say two friends, there would be a problem when one finds a boyfriend and they were like this, where there was like, it's more than a healthy friendship. A healthy friendship, I would think, is when you don't have to tell your friend how much you love them every single day, you don't have to talk to them every single day, because you know that the longevity, or what's there between you guys, or the history, is substantial enough that, like, a matter of a day or 2 days or even a week, that you don't have to blatantly communicate, and or don't have to be like in their face about how much you care for them, how much you mean to them, etc., etc., because that's really emotionally exhausting. I feel, and so is the opposite of not being emotional, not being able to voice um, your opinion. So it is very complicated. You know, that's why a lot of people say keep the boundaries between friends, healthy, and keep your romance and your lovers on one other perspective, and not to get them crossed and tied up, because it messes ish up. You know what I mean? You gotta think about it. Think about what's healthy, what will make you grow, and have healthy relationships, either platonic and friendships or relationships. I was thinking about this because I heard a sermon that a friend submitted on my page about the scripture that says when a man is ready to be with a woman, that he should cleave onto his wife, and the speaker said very, I think, very powerful statements that I found truthful. That there's certain limitations now when you're leaving one area into another, that you should obviously honor and respect your parents, but now your new, I guess, goal, or not goal, um, your new, I guess, area of belonging or tying now should be with your partner. All right. I know this is a rather long entry, but let me know what you guys think of boundaries between friends and lovers. And I feel you shouldn't. Obviously, you shouldn't mix friendship with sex because it totally changes everything. But I feel the same thing with emotions. There should be healthy emotions shared between the friends, and not those that kind of parallel or seems like they're romantic relationships. All right. Mucho lavo, dresses. This is a big issue, so let me know your feedback, and if we could actually go through some topics together. All right. Take care. Bye.